And we're talking about Man United, Liverpool here. It's quite embarrassing.
Yeah, first of all, Grizz, title's gone. Yeah, let's just make that clear. 3 games in, title's gone. Don't care what you should say, or if there's people still out there that believe that we're going to win the league this season, we're not. Title's gone. We look collectively exhausted. That's the worrying thing. It's not one or two players look out of it. Van Dijk looks out of it or Fab looks out of it. Collectively, we look absolutely shattered. Whether that's due to the sheer volume of games last year, or whether it's to do with the last 4 or 5 years just playing and just keeping up pace with Manchester City, who can refresh every year. We can't so much. We can't have an overhaul of changes in our first team or squad even. And yeah, people have the right to point fingers. That midfield was absolutely awful. As soon as I saw it, there was no durability there. There was no press. Milner ripping into Van Dijk, I just don't fucking understand that, because they can't play a high line if our midfield is non-existent. We just couldn't get going. There was no press. It was poor all round, Grizz. It was poor all round. Patches here and there, 5-10 minute spells towards the end of the first half. But yeah, awful. Big shout out to young Harvey Elliott though. I thought he gave it his all. He got a bit kicked around. He wasn't. He was. I didn't think he was great overall, but he stuck it out till the 95th minute and never gave up. But I don't know, Grizz. You're lost for words. I'm lost myself, because after winning, and I know it was only the Community Shield, you thought we'd have some momentum, but instead now we've given the most sort of rotten football club in England. They've got the momentum now, and the way they played today, the way they were set the traps, and the way they therefore, and I include Fernandez, Rashford, Sancho, the way they played, and Alanga, Alanga played well. They looked sharp. They looked as if they looked everything that we were missing. They had. And fair play to Emiliano Martinez, absolute pitbull in that centre back.
Oh, yeah. Life does that, isn't it? How many times have we spoke about karma, Conroy? We
get something going, and I get what you're saying as well, but I just thought
Conroy, he shouldn't be just on the Milner shouldn't be in that lineup in 2022. He shouldn't be there in the first place.
No, he definitely shouldn't. But I can understand why he's annoyed, though.
And people who know me know that I've been a supporter of our owners, and obviously Jurgen as our coach, but fingers need to be pointed out now, Grizz. We can go over the match, and I'm sure you'll do a proper post-match tomorrow where you go into the analytics of it. But today there's questions that need to be asked at board level and the managers and the coaching staff, because what we saw today is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I don't mind losing 2-1, even to our nearest rivals. I don't mind that. But when you're losing in the manner that we lost today, that's fucking unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. 3 games in, we didn't win it against Fulham. We didn't win it in the first game of the season. Yeah, at Palace, yeah. The first half, we were creating chances. Not clear-cut chances, but, we look so obvious. There's no progressiveness in the middle of the park. As much as Harvey Elliott was trying these little intricate passes, and they were coming off, fair play to him. The little 1-2s.
That's
just
off
didn't
the
have
cuff.
power.
That's not like power. That's just off the cuff stuff. I think. Like I don't see what. Is it just me, or you watching that game? What are they working on? Like, what are they even doing with the set pieces? Why is every set piece either floated in or no pace? Like, I watch Brighton and Brentford, and it seems that they work on more stuff, because I don't know if it's because we're better players and we think we can just turn up, but I thought the creativity horrendous. A bang average would be a credit to them. I just thought, see, like Elliot, little good moments like that. Carvalho literally came on and just started running at people and trying to be direct.
Good little cameo,
100%. And he was literally done more. That's. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to say it right now. That is the worst result. 7-2 against Villa. There were substantial factors. I don't want to hear the excuses tonight. I don't want to hear it. That 11's good enough to win. If you have Fabinho and whatever, right? Forget about the bench. Let's not make excuses about offside. I'm not getting a Champions League final, playing bottom of the league, losing, and then we're complaining about, that wasn't offside, VR's out for us. Give it a rest.
Yeah.
Watch the game and analyse the game. Honestly.
No, bollocks. No one's going to say all that. If they do, it's one of those ones that you just say at the heat of the moment, and you can deep it as much as you want and think that
But Grizz, you see the mood. You see the mood now. Yeah, you see the mood. Salah signs a contract. Nunes comes in. Mane went off, but Nunes came in, and Salah signs a contract. It was all positive, right? Something's happened, right? I think something's happened in the background. I'm not a big fan of Pep Linders releasing a book, by the way. intensity, whatever he called it, while he's still at Liverpool. After you retire, mate, go and release a book, this and that. But you don't see Andres Krawietz coming out as much as Pep Linders doesn't, talk a high game, because he is a highly intellectual man. But instead, we've got Pep Linders, right? And look, he might be a great coach, but he didn't need to release a book, right, of this intensity. And we did a whole video on LFC TV. It was embarrassing. It reminded me of what United would do. I never saw Brian Kidd, one of the greatest number twos, or Steve McLaren even as number twos, releasing books. Yeah, we're doing this while we're, preparing for one of the biggest seasons in football. It just seems everything's wrong. And, Naby, Ox, Thiago, yes, we need a midfielder, but Naby, Ox, Thiago, yeah, those were three midfielders that Klopp vied for. He absolutely said, I want these three players in. He liked Ox for a long time when he was at Dortmund. Naby, Thiago. Well, you know what? You want a midfielder, but the midfielders that you have brought in, they haven't given us any, they haven't given us availability. We missed Thiago for all the big games. Naby, a £55 million, that's a write-off now. And today, I think he just said he's out, which obviously suggests that he's on his way out.
Can people let us know if Klopp alluded to that after that? Because one all over again. Hope we make top 4. All valid at the moment. VVD has been passive recently, has no presence. Tresvesh. We spoke about that in the opening thing, didn't we? I think Avi and Conroy discussed that. Navir, appreciate the support. He goes, do you guys think this is down to Jurgen Klopp being stubborn? Avi's going to answer this. Or is it something more systematic? Looks like we have no ideas or plan anymore. Heartbreaking. Avi, a response to that before I carry on. Conroy,
I think it's got to do with Klopp's stubbornness and his insistence of having the right midfielder. Look, Mateus Nunes played against Spurs, right? First game. First half. No. But Chris, it has to be said. It has to be said. I tell you why it has to be said, because it was glaringly obvious that midfielder would have been starting today for us in our midfield 3. You can't tell me Milner's a better midfielder than Mateus Nunes. You can't tell me right now Jordan Henderson is a better midfielder than Mateus Nunes. So all those Reds on Twitter that were saying to me, oh, he's playing for Wolves, Well, you know what? There's probably Ruben Neves and Mateus Nunes that will take from that Wolves team to play in our Liverpool team. Heck, I would probably take João Matinho based on last season. He was a better midfielder than our current 3 that we placed today. So, and in terms of system, yeah, it just looks the same old. We're reverting back to Trent, and he can't do it on his own. And his game suffering. Defensively, he looked short. He didn't know where he was meant to be. Robbo, he looks exhausted. I know, Conroy's obviously a big fan, as we all are of Robbo, but he just looks shattered at the moment.
No, I've said
intensity is too much. It's too much.
Let's do the super chats, guys, because I really have to go through the super chats. Amir